Welcome to my video for Cirqus Voltaire. I play on Classic Arcade and this table was quite a lot of fun, but also not too easy because it's very bouncy, and as a result I had to adapt my playing style to play a bit looser, and yes, it was tricky, but in the end I did really well and I came up with a great strategy. It's straightforward but not that easy to pull off. It's a long video, so in the description is links to timestamps, and I'd suggest rather look at that. I'm also only going to comment on the first part of the video. Enjoy it and please let me know what you think afterwards. The table has a fun and unique layout. The outlanes are basically incomplete, so you have to be careful to not lose a ball down there, but usually you can save it with a nudge. Yes, and it's also the interesting menagerie target area. To also be careful there because the ball can ricochet badly. Other than that, the Ringmaster, you have to hit him to get anywhere on the table, but be especially careful when you go at him when he is not out, because the ball can come back at speed. Let's start off with the skill shot. So you need to find your spot. For me it's just that little transition between the dark and the light ring. Skill shot can go up to 1 million and you have lots of opportunities, so it's worthwhile to go for it the whole time. And yeah, it's unavoidable on this table. You are gonna have to hit the Ringmaster and you're gonna have to hit him a lot. The first Ringmaster is basically only one shot required to light him up, and then it doesn't go into a multiball at the end. So just try and get him out of the way as quickly as possible. It's not, well, there was a nice nudge save in the middle. Just nudge to the left just at the right time. So I locked the ball for Highwire multiball. It's just by shooting those two stand-up targets on both sides of the ramp to light the lock. Okay, there I've got the skill shot again. There's all these different marbles you have to get, 9 of them, and most of them you get just by playing around. Then I get the sideshow marble.
Welcome to the sideshow. This is Sideshow SaAm.
Yes, and the amazing Roonie is horrible, so rather than show you that one, I'll show you one from another game, the neon multiball, that's actually worth something, because you can get an extra ball if you are successful. So my tips for playing this multiball is really just to kind of concentrate on controlling the balls as much as you can, and then as soon as you have a clear shot on the wow targets, you take it. So basically just don't flail around, because if you flail around the balls will disappear very quickly. It's still not easy. I'll probably only get it right once, I don't know, maybe out of 10 times. But yes, it's nice if you do. 2 more hits to go, then I have the extra ball. Here we go, 1 more. There we go, extra ball is lit, so you still have to collect it up the left orbit. So I'm not showing the whole thing. I deliberately crashed Roonie, so I didn't get much for that. Unfortunately, it's a very boring mode. Okay, so let's shoot into that Ringmaster. Whoops, a nice nudge save again there. To get the Ringmaster marble, you have to defeat 4 Ringmasters. And then there's a special one if you don't have all the marbles lit. If you get the 5th Ringmaster, then you go into the Ringmaster Battle. And that is very much worthwhile to go for. So from the 2nd Ringmaster you have to shoot the wild target 3 times, and there's a magnet that kind of catches and releases it, so it's quite risky, but it's unavoidable, you have to go for it. Okay, so the boom marble, got that one now. I can't tell you exactly what you need to get the boom one lit. You have to roll over all these red buttons all over the place enough times. But you don't have to worry about it because it does happen without you thinking about it. Yeah, there's a sneaky lock. And just in time, because the Ringmaster has 2 more shots to kind of have him ready to be finished. And then also shooting the orbits will reward nice and handsome jackpot values. So yes, same as the other multi-ball. Just try and control the balls rather than flailing around aimlessly. I do my best to actually not aim for the juggler, because I find that's the quickest way for you to lose the balls. So I rather aim wide for the orbits, and yes, still didn't work too well on this particular multi-ball. Okay, so now we go for the wow targets again to get the third Ringmaster going. From the second Ringmaster, you basically have a multi-ball after each. And there's a really cool feature of the table, and that is that you can stack multi-balls. And the 3 multi-balls you can stack is Highwire, Arc multi-ball, and the Juggler multi-ball on the left orbit. So Highwire and Arc is both through the ramp, and Arc is basically on the left orbit. I try my best actually not to go for Juggler, and then the opposite orbit as well, Acrobats, because that gives you the best chance not to have all your marbles lit by the time you get to the 5th Ringmaster. If you have all the marbles lit, then you will basically not have a choice but to go for the wizard mode, which is Join the Circus. Which is not bad, but as you will see later, the Ringmaster Battle, even if you don't win it, is worth lots of points. So after the 3rd Ringmaster, you get an extra ball, or extra ball lit, and then the other extra ball that you also go for is the one for 25 million. There I started strike an arc multi-ball. To start that multi-ball, you basically just have to shoot the ramp a certain amount of times. It starts off with 5 shots, and then eventually you end up having to do like, I don't know, I think the highest I've had to do was something like 18 shots, possibly in this game. Let's see. And the arc multi-ball is basically each shot and so forth that you do adds towards the percentage for the next arc jackpot, and eventually, yeah, I think well, that wasn't a good one again, and unfortunately I lost both balls. I did get another extra ball for the 25 million, but yeah, that was very sad. The end of ball bonus is cumulative throughout the game, but it's not worth that much in the game, but it's still worthwhile to try. And yes, well, it happens anyways. Just know that you can get some nice points, but not massive points like in Tales of Arabian Nights or Theatre of Magic. Okay, wow targets again. You can see the magnet flings it around a bit, but there's not much you can do about it. You have to go for it. Fourth Ringmaster. I only have 4 more marbles to go. The 2 on the orbits on the left and right, and then spin, which is that orbit around the Ringmaster. You have to shoot through there 2 or 3 times quickly. But it usually also happens by itself. I haven't mentioned it yet, but if you go for the Ringmaster, try and hit him either in the middle or towards the right, because shots on the left seem to go more towards the middle. There I shot on the left, but yeah, try and avoid it. Weep. Nice save there. Okay, let's try and start a multi-ball before I shoot into the Ringmaster. Oh, not. I don't know why I didn't go for multi-ball there. Probably because I was too many shots away, but I'm not really sure. Anyways, let's just play this multi-ball. Just try and control the balls. It's really not easy on this table to control the ball because it's so extremely bouncy. As a result, I had to adapt my playing style to a whole lot looser playing style, where if you've watched any of my other videos, you'll notice that I really go for control before I take shots. Well, on this table, if you do that, it actually doesn't work. You have to play looser, but still aim when you get a chance. Don't just flail needlessly or without an aim, just go for specific targets. Okay, I'm doing pretty well on this multiball so far. Okay. So now you have to be careful because now I managed to get the Acrobats as well on the right orbit because it is still active during multiball, and I only have one marble to go, the Juggler one, and spot marble is lit up the ramp. So now I'm gonna start this next Ringmaster. And then make sure, oh yeah, I lost the ball because I was thinking too much about how I'm going to avoid having to hit the left orbit or the tram. Okay, if you lose the ball, you have to hit all 3 wild targets again, even if you had 2 down already. It starts all over, so that's quite cruel from the table. Okay. So as soon as I have that Ringmaster, 5 shots on him, and I start the final Ringmaster multiball. Well, it's actually not Ringmaster multiball, the normal one, it's the Ringmaster Battle, which is a 2-ball multiball with unlimited ball save. I'll talk about it a bit more now when it starts. Notice the score. Oops. There we go. 15 million. So now the Ringmaster Battle starts. And what you need to do is to hit him as often as possible. But also very importantly is to try and not lose the ball. Because as soon as you lose the ball, his advantage increases. And okay, there we go, I lost the ball. And as soon as he is strengthened too much, oh, he lost both balls. You see, if he strengthens, then I lose one of the hits on him. Still one, okay, there I lost the hit. Got another one there. Even the 2 little stand-up targets next to him count towards hitting the Ringmaster. Outside of Ringmaster Battle or hitting the Ringmaster, it counts towards lighting the next sideshow. But anyways, for now, it works towards hitting him. Lost the ball again. Yes, Ringmaster Battles can last a long time. And the good thing is, even if you don't win it, you still get lots of points if you manage to keep the ball alive. So yeah, just concentrate on keeping the balls alive. Even if it sometimes means it takes a while before you get your next hit on him. There we go. Looking good so far. At this stage I was feeling I'm beginning to get the upper hand. There we go, still looking really good. Each shot on him is worth 1,000,000 points. I probably already had like about 20 or so hits on him. But there I lost the ball, there I lost the other ball, and then I lost the ball again, so it's very frustrating. Meanwhile, also doing my best not to hit that left ramp because that will spot the next marble. and then you won't have a chance to fight the Ringmaster again. Because if you lose the Ringmaster Battle and all the marbles are not lit yet, you can still try and start the Ringmaster Battle again by going the normal route of shooting the 3 wild targets and then by hitting the Ringmaster 5 times before you can finish him off, or basically start the battle. Still going. It feels bad while you're doing it because you like get frustrated that you can't beat him, but trust me, lots of points, as you will see now at the end here. Okay, here we go, still going. I haven't actually checked how many minutes this is, but yes, it goes on for quite a bit. I lost 2 balls again, which gives him a big boost. Now it's getting really desperate. Hit him again, so I kept it alive, and again. Still a chance of saving it, if I can hit him enough times and not lose the ball further. Ooh, that was close of it being finished. Now it's very close. Hit him. I think it's over. Let's see. No, yeah, I lose. So yes, started at 50 million, got 5 million for getting him, and basically got over 50 million just during the Ringmaster mode. 53 million, pretty much. So now, during all of that, I hit the Juggler enough times on the left hand side to get the last marble. So now we're starting the wizard mode, the Join the Circus mode. First step is to spell circus just by hitting 6 different shots in areas, each one associated with one of the circus letters. Yeah, it's generally not something you have to stress about. The 2 orbits are the harder ones to hit. You have to aim, you can't just flail around for them. And sure, sometimes it's quite hard to get the ball onto that right flipper because it's so bouncy. So far I'm not doing too well, and the ball save is getting close to being finished. But yes, so now it's getting a little bit more stressful. Only 1 shot left to go there on the left. So let's see if I can control it. Oops, 1 ball left, but that's not a crisis. Yeah, hitting that wow Ringmaster area while he's not up is quite risky, especially during multiball when there's no magnet to kind of slow the ball down, because it really does zip back. Okay, after the first stage, the flippers go dead, you get 10 million awarded. So the second phase, you have to hit the Ringmaster, and then you have to hit the ramp, basically. Again, the problem of getting the ball onto the right flipper, you have quite a long ball saver. So usually what I try to do, I don't know if I'm going to get it right here, is to get 1 ball on the left flipper, and then 1 on the right. There we go. Because as soon as you have it through, you don't have to wait for him to be up. It counts towards him being hit, even if he's still down. So there I quickly got 2 shots down. Third one. And there we go, just like that. Finish. Oh no, something didn't register. Okay, there we go. The last shot, you don't have to shoot it through the ramp again. Okay, and then the third step, which you basically have to hit 6 orbits. It's lit up which one you have to hit. Ball save is quite long, so just take your time. Yes, yeah, that shot can sometimes be frustrating. Especially, yep, yeah, no, I'm trying. Oh, there we go. Lucky shot, but I got it. Okay, so now the two orbits, the left and right, for the next phase. Got one down, and the other one. Lucky shot, but they all count. Okay, now the fourth one on the right. I don't know why it's only showing 3 up there, because I definitely have 3 down already. Why it's only showing 2 up there, I mean. There we go. Oh, okay, there it suddenly jumped to 4 from 2. Okay, and I got the last one. You can go either way around that little orbit for it to count. And the last one. Great. So that was 30 million plus just from finishing those 3 modes. And now you get the reward multiball, where you can score lots of points, the party multiball. I, in all honesty, don't do really well in it, and the main reason is that boom pop bumper. Because that just kind of messes things up and sends a lot of balls down the right outline. There we go, one down there, and it's almost impossible if you concentrate in the middle to save balls down that right outline. But yeah, still getting some nice points here. So definitely at some point I'll try and control the ball. But yeah, never seem to really get it right to do very well in this multiball. This one is actually pretty good compared to many others I've had before. But that's not bad for a first playthrough. Ooh. So now I've lost 3 balls already, and each time I lost a ball basically at the end of a multiball, which is counter-intuitive or against the run of play from my perspective. But anyways, that's the way it goes. So I'm just going to commentate a little bit more, just to point out a few things for the second time that you play through the modes. And then I'll also commentate later on the second Ringmaster Battle, because that one I'm successful in finishing it up. And then I'll give some commentary at the end of the game. Okay, but just to kind of point out the differences if you play the second time around, is that you immediately start with the Frenzy Ringmaster, which is the second one in the first play. And that goes along with a multiball. And then also, for most of the marbles, you have to hit more shots for it to be completed. And the one that stands out for me is Menagerie marble. The one on the left. It's a very tricky one, because if you go for it directly, the ball is usually out of control. So what I do is, during all of the multiballs, then I start focusing on that particular area in addition to whatever I'm trying to do to score jackpots. So let's just start the first multiball and then I can show it. I shot up the ramp now a lot of times to get close to starting strike and arc multiball, and there I got it started, and I just need to get the ball into the Ringmaster. There we go, and then I start the Ringmaster Frenzy. Something interesting is, if you start a multiball like strike and arc and you lose the ball before you hit it into the Ringmaster, you have a short little grace period. Can't say how long, maybe 5 seconds or so, or if you then hit it into the Ringmaster, for the arc multiball to be started up again. Okay, so I lost another ball there, and at this stage I was thinking, oh no, another good game that I started, it's just gonna fizzle out. But luckily for me, I managed to really have a good third ball, this particular ball, and yeah, it took me to a new high score on the table. Long may it last. Okay, so let's stop the commentary here for now and take a look in the description for where I am going to play the next Ringmaster Battle. Thanks.
I am the Ringmaster. Do your worst. You make me weep. Not really. No problem. Welcome to the sideshow. I now award you the sideshow marble. Stop that! I can juggle 2 balls all day.
Player 1.
Down, Super!
Head up the Highwire to start Multiball.
I'll be back. I challenge you to some of my Ringmasters Razz. Stop that! Well done. Yes. I am the Ringmaster. Do you wish to challenge me? Oh, that hurts.
Now what's this? Highwire Multiball.
can juggle 3 of these. Whoa! Juggler multiball.
Complete.
Whoa! The bubble is going.
Trained animals well.
I am the Ringmaster. Do you still want to play? I think you've had enough for today.
Next. Ring 2.
Is that the best you've got? Ow! Oh, that hurts. Ow! Ooh! Do your worst.
Yeah, so basically we're going to start the second Ringmaster Battle after I've defeated 3 other Ringmasters. And you can already see for each Ringmaster you get another extra billion points. So just by hitting Ringmasters you get lots of points. The same story as previously. I'll put a timestamp towards the end of the Ringmaster Battle as well, so that you don't have to watch the whole thing. Just go to the end and then you can see how you end up defeating him and what you get for that. Because this one is also going to last a long while. Yes, luckily I had a end result, that's why I'm showing it again. So at this stage I was really worried that I haven't really hit him yet. There we go. So I just keep on going. I forgot to see what my score was before I started it. But I think I'll also probably get another 50 million or something just from fighting this Ringmaster. I desperately wanted this extra ball, and I was also very disappointed when I didn't get the extra ball the first time around, because I basically was down to my last ball shortly after that first Ringmaster Battle. Yeah, reading the bounce right on this table is very, very hard. I still struggle with that. Often end up with mistimed, misjudged balls just slipping down the middle. It happens in all tables, but on this one particularly, I find the ball very bouncy and the flipper tricks aren't as effective. You can't do live catches really, and drop catches you can do, but they're not that practical due to the angles on this table. And also it's just something that's not really part of my repertoire. Okay, so still fighting the dude. Still hitting him. Each shot is still worth a million, so not a bad thing. Yeah, I thought again, oh no. I build up a proper sweat fighting the Ringmaster because it just feels like it's unending. So each time as you feel you get the upper hand, then you lose the ball again, and losing one ball usually makes you panic a bit, and then you lose the second one. So yes, carries on for a while. And I'm still nowhere close to defeating him. He's actually much closer to beating me at this stage. Ooh, he lost 2 balls. Yeah, I thought, okay, that's it. I don't know actually how I saved from here. Just by that lucky hit there. And that one. Okay, so now I'm back on track again. But still nowhere close. And still losing balls. Yeah, this is more luck than anything that I managed to beat this Ringmaster. But you take everything that you get. Pinball can be cruel. Just when you think you're on top, then suddenly it's all over. So I take all the luck I can get. Like famous South African golfer Gary Player from the 60s and 70s. He has this famous saying, which is the more you practice, the luckier you get. And that's very true for pinball as well. Okay, now suddenly I'm close to finishing him off. Let's see if we can do it. Nah, slipping away again. One more. Nope. Slipped away again. Okay, now I'm close again. Come on, finish him off. Finally. So what you get for finishing off is this nice montage of images there on the DMD. And then also 10 million bonus and extra ball lit, which I was super excited about, but also made me very nervous because I'm not very good at getting extra balls when I have to, especially that left shot. Ah, got it. Great, so end of the game is beckoning. I'm still quite a bit away from beating the previous high score, which was something like 70 million or so. I also successfully played through a second Join the Circus, which brought me a lot closer to that high score on the table. Before I got to that second Join the Circus, I first had to get all the marbles, and the Menagerie one was the one that gave me trouble. Yes, it tend to do after the first playthrough, but it is doable. So just keep on focusing and keep on concentrating and you'll get there. So I'll give some finishing comments at the end.
Trained animals well.
the sideshow! Welcome to the circus! We need your skills. And now, spell circus! You! Oh yes, yes! You! Excellent! Wow!
I now award you. You have earned the Sideshow Marble.
I am the Ringmaster. Do your worst. Watch it.
Amazing.
I can juggle one ball, no problem.
Player one.
You knocked out my contact.
Incredible.
I can juggle two balls all day. I can juggle three of these. Wow! Killer multiball. Wow!
Now, Simba.
Challenge you to a frenzy.
Double
I am the Ringmaster. You must challenge me.
Don't move, stay in the ring. Great shot.
How dare you? Ow! Ooh! Stop that!
Nice shot. And the judges score. Same player shoots again.
Watch it, watch it! Oh no! I challenge you to some of my Ringmaster's Razz! Okay, so your shooting isn't so bad. Miss.
Oh well, that was a bit of a sad end to the game. Actually just needed one more shot on the Menagerie on the left hand side to light extra ball, and that was just a nothing shot for the end of that ball. But that's the way it goes. Also had other balls in the game that went badly like that. But overall it was a good game. That third ball was amazing. I don't know how much I scored, but maybe close to like 180 million or something just on that ball. And yes, for now this was the number 1 score on the leaderboard. No idea how long it's gonna last, but it's good that I could finally do a video with me being number 1 on the table. So thanks guys, hope you enjoyed it.